Alright, what's up everybody? I'm about to start working on my page 7, but I was going to show you my vintage comics haul that I finally just got in. I order my comics from my comic shop online. I know what I like, I know what I want, and I'm looking for the right price. I'm not really a vintage or a key issue guy. I'm more of a just older comics and stuff I remember from when I was younger. So first up, I've got an Amazing Adventures Killraven. Issue 29. Killraven definitely was pretty huge in my mind. Definitely formative in my years. So the artist on this one is Craig Russell. And, oh, it's all ads. Pretty cool. So I'll add this to my Killraven collection. I've got a bunch. I like this one. I think I might have even gotten another Killraven. Let's see. Aha, I did. I get another one. I got this one just for the cover. This is 30, which comes right after 29. I love this this black samurai character. I can't remember what his name is though, but he really is a samurai. Got a samurai sword. I think in this one it looks like he's got a bow. Yeah, same team, McGregor and Russell. Oh, Herb Trimpe's on this as well. You can see the beautiful lines on it. Yeah, Killraven was the coolest. You hear his name is Mashula. And then her name was Mint Julep. This is my whole sense of fantasy comes from Killraven. Like at an early age. It was definitely pretty formative. The green skin babe. Then I also managed to get this is actually the same series as Killraven over there, but this is one of the earliest ones. And you can see how early it is. It was 15 cents on the cover price. This was Inhumans and Black Widow. This is in this era, Marvel just did these sort of mini anthologies with 2 stories per issue. And this one's Jack Kirby doing the Inhumans. So let's see who did the Black Widow story. This one's Gary Friedrich, the guy who got screwed over by Marvel. Well, who didn't get screwed over by Marvel? No, it's actually written, plotted by Gary Friedrich, penciled by John Buscema. So Gary Friedrich, pretty much the guy who created Ghost Rider. And then, later on, when he was quite old, he would want to sell some art and stuff related to Ghost Rider. And they sued him, and they were successful, and he was financially devastated. He was quite old at the time. It was a very cruel thing to do. Pretty much unforgivable. This is issue number 1 of Tarzan during the Kubert years, and as you can see, that's a Kubert cover. There it is. I don't know if you can see the signature there. Definitely Tarzan was very formative for me as well. And obviously there were other Tarzan comics. I mean, they've been making Tarzan since the 1910s, the 19-teens. But, Kubert mostly did covers, but he wanted to do the whole series of Tarzan, and he took it over for a good long time. And I don't even know if I have to open this one, just because I've seen this one quite a bit. This is the first issue. And it was only $6, so I had to jump on it, and it's very good condition. Anyways, let's leave that one. Okay, I've gotten 2 Micronauts annuals, and not only do I love the Micronauts, I didn't realize that this was the case, but Tom Scioli pointed it out the other day that Ditko did the annuals, and he sure the heck did. So you can see the distinctive Ditko art on there, and I think one of these might even be signed, but you can see it in Biotron here. Look at Biotron's face. And then this kind of, I think that's Time Traveler back here. All these characters, this is distinctively Ditko's art style. And then I was just on a Ditko kick after that. I mean, I got both of these for very inexpensively. the two Micronauts annuals. And so looking around, I also got an issue of Charlton Bullseye, which was very nicely priced. This is not a Ditko cover, but it's Blue Beetle in the question, which are definitely ones I associate with Ditko. I'm going to go see what's on the inside. Hey, look. I'll definitely be reading this one tonight. Ooh, look at this. I love it. The irregular, look at the, if you look really closely at the pages, they're cut irregularly. This is Charlton at its best, man. George Wildman was the editor. Story, Benjamin Smith. Pencils, Dan Reed. Plot is A Committee. This is a typical Charlton joke. That means it was done by, and a dialogue, a non-O mouse. This makes me think that Ditko may have been involved. Because whenever Ditko would use the lettering machine they had over at Charlton, he would always say lettering was done by a machine. And then Dan Reed and Al Val. So it looks like Dan Reed with maybe Ditko overseeing, or maybe Ditko had nothing to do with it. Who knows? Some of this looks very Ditko-esque, though. Oh, look, it's Beetle and the question kind of teaming up. Very cool. The year for this, it's got a UK price on it too. The year for this is 1981. And then finally, this is kind of the prize right here. This is, what issue is this? This is Mad Monsters, and I don't know if you can see real close. Do you guys see that signature right there? Steve Ditko. And look at it too. It makes me I want to draw this. I want to try and attempt something like this, maybe with a oil pastel. I love this werewolf here. It's got a Conga picture-by-picture preview. Conga by who? Of course, Steve Ditko. Reptilicus, the evil creature from a long time ago. Monsters, Ghouls, and Fiends. This is a larger size magazine format book. This was also pretty competitively priced. Oh, I love it. Look at that. The Ace of Monsters. Not in the most newish condition, but that's, it is what it is. 1961. So this is quite old. That's another Ditko right here. Oh, when they say Conga, they're actually doing the movie preview. So this is a shot-by-shot preview of the movie. And not just sick, dead. Oh, so cool. These were like fan magazines like Starlog, and so, oh, there's a rip right there. That's okay. Reptilicus. But this is quite a vintage piece right here. Makes me want to look at the what they had for credits, if anything. Editor, Abernathy Farquaad. And then the associate editor was Farquaad Abernathy. The art director was Aberquad Farnathy. And the assistant art director is Nathy Quad Aberfarth. And special effects was Farabear Quadnathy. I don't know if you can see that. So this is, these cats at Charlton, man. They were pretty funny. Abernathy Farquaad, Farquaad Abernathy, Aberquad Farnathy, Nathy Quad Aberfarth, and Far Aberquadnathy. In reality, it was probably just anybody who was there at the bullpen. This is so cool. Look, somebody even mailed in the order blank to get, what did they get? Some monster books from Monarch Books. Like, just as even like visual reference. I think that's from Is that Black Orchid? I don't know what that's from. Black Sunday. I know it was something like that. That's the witch from Black Sunday. They got a little bit of a comic here. I'll have to check that out as well. The maddest monsters of them all. Very cool. All right, anyways, let's get to work. I wasted the first 10 minutes. The least I can do. The least I can do is some comics. All right. One thing I gotta do, bring my pencil layer back. I need to break up the silhouette of this sort of planet-looking thing. I know I've got a crystal down here, but let's put the crystal back up here. Can you believe that Charlton Monsters book? I don't know if I can believe it. It's really cool. All right. I like how this crystal is back here, but I don't like how it doesn't poke through on the other side. So I think what we need to do is have the crystal off to the side. And I might have to like visual reference some crystals to make sure I'm getting this about like I want it. So we're at the impending government shutdown, as well as an impending tropical storm or something, some kind of storm. What could possibly go wrong? I just found out that I am still eligible to pay back my military time to add to my like retirement account, my IRA. And I'm so excited that that is still open. I thought that the window had closed because I knew there was something about you have to get it done in the first 3 years after you get out of the military. And so I thought, oh, I missed the opportunity because I wasn't even thinking about that. But actually, that's the opportunity to do it without paying interest. So I think that particular door is closed. I'm still going to have to pay interest. But it's worth it, so I think I want to do that. And it'll add as if I had been investing for 6 more years in my individual retirement account. I'm very obsessed with working out my retirement account stuff. The other thing I'm kind of interested in is, what else was I looking at? Thinking about getting those cargo bars on the top of your car. That would be cool to have, wouldn't it? So I don't know what's happening at the bottom of a crystal. I think I just bring it to a point. Let's take the pencils out for a second and take a look at it. It looks like I did too much. I made it too busy. I'm not against having a crack in the crystal. Well, I kind of am. It doesn't look good. And now I should have crystals back here, but they should be much smaller, right? So we get the sense that we're flying forward in space rather than just sideways in space. We want to have, the crystals can be of varying sizes, but the ones on this side of the page really should be smaller. And not have curved lines in them. And since they're more distant, we should also be really careful about or more careful anyways, about our line weights. Oh, what are you doing, Peter? Okay. Okay, I think that's probably enough crystals. I don't think that's enough for what I'm trying to do, but let's try and get this planet-shaped item background element. Well, I thought maybe I'd do some kind of texture on the planet or whatever it is. I think it's just enough to leave it as some kind of sphere, but we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with it. It could be that we do like maybe a little nimbus of light around it. Now here's the other question that's come up, or comes up for me, which is, where are your big chunky areas of, you really were concerned about big chunky areas of black ink. Where are you going to put them? You could black out the whole space area. That's what we did on the other page. That's still a possibility. We could maybe put some glow around each one of the crystals, and that would create some contrast. You know, just use like a very thin line of glow, and the glow even superimposes on the other glow. So, in the case of these two crystals, we could even put a glow around Prometheus Powers. I'm gonna have to go look at like some kind of space-based comics, like maybe old Captain Marvel, not the one you're thinking of. The Marvel Captain Marvel, the one that died of cancer in the '80s. The Jim Starlin Captain Marvel, I suppose I should call him. The one with the wristbands. I think it's definitely a case of we're definitely going to have to black out a lot of this. Oh, I'm still on level. Oh, you stupid. All right, let's fix this. And never speak of it again. Let's make some kind of like trailing, like the the swan of. This is Hondo, by the way, the flying monkey character you saw earlier. He's moving in such a way that the energy is streaking behind him. if that's possible. It's nice to see people working on their comics lately. I saw Marsh had posted some stuff. Looks like he was using some lettering tips that I may have influenced him on. Maybe not. Who knows? But he was definitely using the panel border. I didn't come up with that. I just noticed it. All right, hang on. There we go. All right. Now, how do we chunk this out? That's going to be the tough part. Okay. Well, same deal here. One thing I might also look at is Legion of Superheroes, because a lot of Legion of Superheroes, this is very influential for me, would show them flying in space, and they didn't have like spacesuits. They had these little space bubble helmets, and then some characters, like Superboy, of course, didn't need to wear a helmet at all, which I always thought that was really cool. All right, so I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to black out this entire page. What? I think that might be the best way to go. All right, just so I don't ruin any of the other art, let's make it as its own layer. Let's put it underneath the pencil layer. Let's rename it to blackout. Right? And I'll do a lot of this off screen so where you can't see it, but let's go ahead and use this syrup bubble. All right. We're at least going to do this much, right? And then we'll take this. That way we can take this, reduce the opacity, and then trim it out. I do not normally like to mess around with sort of blacked out backgrounds. I don't even like to mess with full bleed. I know it's very popular. Like, it's ridiculously popular to do full bleed. I was really shocked. I took my first comic class and everybody was doing full bleed all the time. Like, nobody wanted to do a regular um, gridded comic. And after some inquiry, a lot of them had never really ever dealt with a gridded comic, a regularly gridded comic, outside of like newspaper comics, which they had limited experience with as well. So it might be just an age thing. But the gridded comic exists because it's easy to follow. It has an element of predictability to it. It's certainly used in manga, although manga has its own kind of gridded aesthetic that I also don't follow, which I think of as the soup can aesthetic, where you're just stacking stuff in there. You don't really think about the negative space. It's not really a grid, actually, in manga a lot of times, except for older manga. Like Tezuka believed in the grid. And I believe in Tezuka. So I guess that settles it. Okay. We have to figure out something to do with this big sphere. Some kind of texture or something. We could make it a light source too. That might actually solve a lot of our problems. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I can tell this is going to be pretty tedious. So I apologize today. I hope you enjoyed the vintage comic book haul. Quite honestly, I was really shocked to see that that last one, that Charlton Monster magazine. Go for the price it did, which was not expensive, and I didn't see um, too many other issues of that particular one that were similarly priced. It must be kind of strange to newer comics fans because comics are much more common throughout the 70s and the 80s. So if you're a newish comic fan, you can go back to go, okay, what comics were being put out the year I was born, and you can look as far back as like 1988 or something, and they'll be like, oh, there's plenty of things, and they're all $3 each, not that expensive at all. But they go back to 1961 like that. Wow, that's something else. All right, this is me dealing with my eraser. Okay. Coming up on 28 minutes. I'm going to have to do something about these kind of glow marks that are coming off of the talisman. That looks okay. Here's what it's looking like so far. That's pretty dark. So we might put some stars or something in there. We need some way to set these figures off, so there's still too much white. We want to surround them, get them nice and framed in with the darkness. We're right at 29 minutes and 32 seconds, so I'm going to start wrapping this up. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Check back again. There will be more comics every day. At this point, I am pretty much ahead of the game as far as what my yearly goals were. I have a yearly goal and then I have a long-term goal. My yearly goal is about 100 pages a year. And then I try and once I beat it, and I always beat it, Then I try and go as far as I can. If I can get like 150, that would be a huge thing now. I don't think I'm not gonna get 150. I'm right at like 101 or so right now. And I still have 2 or 3 months. So maybe, just maybe, I'll get another 5 or 10 pages, 10 or 15 before the end of the year. If I can finish this comic and maybe do one more or start one more story, I would be super happy. All right, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things you do on YouTube. And I will see y'all later. Bye now.